Iambic Ladies. 14 sonnets about 14 ladies whose names happen to be iambic, an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable, accompanied by AI-generated pictures of each lady. Colette. Colette arrives and tells me what she wants, like heavy rain upon a metal roof. Her eyes are dark and still, like ravens' haunts. Her look is one of arrogance, aloof. Colette believes she's better than the song of simple sirens calling men to drown. She knows the place where all my words belong, and so she wears a haunting, fitted gown. Her beauty is as dark as ebony. The forests of Ceylon invite her form, a place where foolish men should never be, a place where darkened clouds become a storm. Colette does what Colette will do with me, like hold my heart and never set it free. Corinne. Corinne becomes a mist when nights are short, like summer solstice dancing where she goes. Her piercing eyes are like a sharp retort. I often wonder what her spirit knows. But I would never ask her to explain the reasons for the words and looks she'll choose, when floating like a mist of summer rain, without the comforts other women use. What comforts her is still a mystery. Perhaps she doesn't need the soft or warm. She holds her thoughts with quiet dignity, but speaks her mind like thunder in a storm. Regardless of it all, she lets me in to learn the subtle secrets of Corinne. Elaine. Elaine is simply classic, simply bright, like beauty that must be upon display. I'd paint her if I could with shades of white, but that dichotomy might fade away. I've never seen her fade, she simply waits for you to notice every line and curve. She knows the form each line and curve creates. She knows her form is more than you deserve. She isn't coy, it isn't her intent. Alluring is just how she will appear, at unexpected times like when she went to places that I thought might trigger fear. Elaine is not afraid to be Elaine. She dwells beyond all thoughts of loss or gain. Marie. Marie is a reflection in a pool, although I know her touch is more than real. When I'm too warm, her touch is nice and cool. Like when I'm sick, her touch is quick to heal. Her healing touch can fix a broken heart. A lady and a doctor of amour. Much more than just an artist with her art, she seems to hold the key to every door. No door is locked for long when she will go to find the things she needs or simply wants, including things unseen that she would know on streets that her reflected beauty haunts. At times I sense the wraith of sweet Marie. At times she knows that what will be, will be. Cosette. Cosette can walk through fields where flowers grow without becoming lost in reverie. She's always in the now, but she can go to any place or time she wants to be. Like water in a river she moves on. Like water in a lake she may be deep. Like sunlight in the shades of dusk or dawn, the rainbow of her soul you'll want to keep. But she belongs to no one like the sun. Her light and warmth are gifts she freely shares, the way the air is breathed by everyone, the way a field of flowers shows it cares. Each flower like Cosette will grace their field, and like Cosette their beauty is revealed. Helene. Helene is not as simple as you think, and yet she's not complexity at all. Perhaps she's just confusion that will sink. Perhaps she's innocence before the fall. Her will is like a subtle slant verse rhyme. It calls you in to memorize her form, but once you're there you'll find you're out of time, and she becomes a deviated norm. Perhaps I met her when she had intent, and now she simply drifts from place to place. I don't recall how many nights I spent just crying while wrapped up in her embrace. I told Helene how much she would be missed. I still remember all the times we kissed. Bernice. Bernice believes it's easy to be good, and yet she knows she isn't in her mind. She leaves it on the table in her shack. I've seen the good she often left behind. She also says it's easy to be bad. I disagree. I know how much it hurt when we became the times we wished we'd had, and everything we said was mean or curt. But even in the worst of times we sang, a song of love, a song of fervent hope. She said she loved the music that I brang. She said it cleared her mind and helped her cope. When sweet Bernice finds goodness, all is well. It seems to be the good she wants to tell. Danielle. Danielle enjoys the nights that fit her mood. and yet she isn't moody in the least. She needn't be invited to intrude. Intrusion is the dance before the feast. And oh, that girl can dance the night away. It's like she is the singer and the song. She takes you there and makes you want to stay. She seems to know just where her feet belong. The world is just a dance floor in her eyes, and you can take her anywhere to dance. She'll spin around and take you by surprise, but only if she thinks she has a chance to bring you happiness as well. That's just the way it goes with sweet Danielle. Lucille. Lucille was once the answer to a prayer. She doesn't think she was, but that's okay. What isn't broken doesn't need repair. She isn't broken, that's all I will say. Her thoughts are often reveries of joy, and joy to her is more than just an art. It's life that all the living must employ to prove that one is whole and has a heart. Her heart is where she treasures joy and love. I let her help me learn the joy she taught. She showed me how my joy could be above, then said that I should leave it free, uncaught. An answer to a joyful prayer, Lucille. Too late, I found the joy she would reveal. Inez. Inez allows perceptions to evolve. Whatever you perceive is fine by her. I think that she's a puzzle I can't solve. She makes me wonder what perceptions were. Before I found her dancing in the street, before she told me lies that were the truth, the lies she shares with me are quite discreet. They make me recollect the lies of youth. But when she turns, her volta finds its verse, the way chiasmus finishes, complete. Before my couplets go from bad to worse, she brings me dark perceptions when we meet. I often find Inez in lonely time, and find that her perceptions are sublime. Jolene. Jolene is there to help me find the way, on paths that lead through places I must go. She seems to speak the words I cannot say, although they're words I like to think I know. I hear the sound of beauty in her voice. I see the form of beauty in her stride. I always know with her I have a choice. I know with her that beauty cannot hide. And yet, to know her now is not the same as when I knew her presence in the past. She seems to know that life is not a game. I wonder if she knows that life can last. It seems to last forever and a day, and thoughts of Jolene always seem to stay. Lisette. Lisette prefers Elizabeth at times, but this is not the time for formal names. I love it when she speaks to me in rhymes. I love it when she plays her little games, like begging me to keep her safe and warm, or telling me to come back when she's cold. I've seen her take a pure, majestic form. She tells me things I wish could be untold, like when she says her heart is just a cage that keeps her love locked up from fools like me, or how to read what seems an empty page within her book of joy or misery. Lisette defies most metaphors, and yet, poetically, I long for sweet Lisette. Pauline. Pauline is more than meets the casual eye. She walks above the shadows no one sees. She nods but never stops a passer-by, polite but not obsessive, if you please. She told me once that poetry was fine. She told me what I write is not half bad, but she prefers a full carafe of wine. It's better than most poetry I've had. I love to hear her happy little sighs, while walking where she thinks she can't be heard. I sometimes hear her practicing white lies to share with all the other little birds. At times she speaks as if she was the queen. Of course you are, your highness, dear Pauline. Charisse. Charisse is not the same as yesterday, when I remember how she sold remorse. It scared me more than I could ever say. Go ask her now. Of course she'll say, of course. With no remorse to sell, she turns to go, to find a way to keep what might be lost. She seems to bear a secret all men know. She knows the price sweet sophistry will cost. And so she'll sell you nothing but a kiss, then walk away and laugh until she cries. I never thought that she would come to this. The change you see is in her lovely eyes. Charisse has eyes that beckon sadness near. I wonder if she'll have them still next year.